This is the plaintiff, Diana Jones. She says she and the defendant began dating in March of 2010, and things escalated between them very quickly to the point where they were practically living together. As it turns out, she caught him in a very big lie, and she don't play like that. Once she found out the truth about the slime ball, she kicked him to the curb, and now she wants the $2,698.20 she's owed. This is the defendant, Charles Jones. He says the plaintiff's license was suspended, and he put a van in his name for her. She made it very clear the van was hers and only hers. Now that they've gone their separate ways, the plaintiff has it in her little head that he should pay her all this money for the van's upkeep. He simply doesn't owe because money went back and forth over the 3 years they were together, and she did for him and he did for her. He's accused of letting a lover down.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. These litigants were dating. She found out that he was cheating. She kicked him out, and she is still owed a fortune. But he says he gave her plenty, so they're even. It's the case of your cheating heart and wallet.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Diana Jones, you are suing Charles Jones, your former boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay. Coincidence, last name?
Yes.
For $2,698.20 in expenses, van upkeep, and maintenance of a van that was yours, that you put under his name because you had a suspended license?
Yes.
And that now that you broke up, you want him to retroactively pay for?
Yeah.
Tell me what happened. How long did you two date?
I met him in March of 2010.
Okay.
In May 2010, my son was murdered.
I'm so sorry.
By August 2011, I had quit him because during one of my breakdowns, he stated to me I wasn't the only woman to ever have a son killed. I did not speak to him. I did not see him. I did not try to contact him. December 2011, approximately 3-4 days before Christmas, he calls me. And we started talking again. Naturally, I'm fragile. I'm still mourning and grieving the death of my son.
Again? Did he apologize?
No, but just to have somebody there.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
You have to lose a child to understand what people go through, and especially single women. There was nobody there for me other than my children, and they're grown and they live away from home.
Okay.
Like I said, a few days before Christmas, he calls. By New Year's Day, I didn't see him New Year's Eve. He said he had a date. I think what was going on was the woman that he was with, he was probably under the impression she was getting ready to kick him to the curb because he was with her New Year's Eve. From New Year's Day, January 2012, up until May 6th, this man was with me constantly. On February 23rd, I bought a van. From the time I got the van, for the maintenance and upkeep, every time something went, he had sole possession of this van.
Why would he have sole possession of the van? It's your
because
van.
I didn't have a license.
Why was your license suspended?
I had a DUI.
Okay, so you bought a van and you put it in his name.
Yes, and he was driving it. Everybody thought the van was his.
Okay.
But every time something went wrong with the van, if I asked him, did he have any money to get it fixed? No. Can you get it? I'll try. I'll see. There were times when there was no gas in the van. And I would borrow money to put gas in the van for him to get where he had to go because he claimed he had no money.
Okay, I know, and you're telling me about all the stuff that you did, and then you want me to be understanding because you went through a very difficult time in your life, but why are you suing for it if that's the life that you were putting up with?
Every time I would ask him to, did he have any money or could he, help get the van fixed, he would say no. April of this year, the end of April, I found a Discover card statement in the van that he accidentally left there with a credit line of $7,900 and a cash advance of $4,300. He claimed he couldn't even help pay the insurance on the van, but when he got a dog, I think a couple years ago, I'm finding out that the owner, when he came out of jail last year, added $50 more a month to his rent. Now you can pay $50 more a month rent for a dog, but you can't pay.
I have no idea what you're saying. Rent for a dog?
Yes, for the dog living, for the dog, him having the dog.
Paying him for holding onto the dog while the guy's in jail.
No. It was his dog.
Who's doing what? Who's in jail?
When the owner came out of jail.
The owner of the dog?
No, of the apartment.
Of an apartment.
Of his apartment.
He had to pay $50 more at his own apartment to keep his own dog there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yet he had no, when I would ask him.
Okay, so your boyfriend's a louse. I understand, but how does it make a legal case? Tell me what you're.
Because he had funds to help. He had this money. Also, he claimed that when he got money, that he would give me some.
Okay. All right, what's going on?
Well, a part about her son, and that wasn't said like she put it.
How was it said?
She was all upset, and I just made the statement. I said, well, you're not the only one that have a child that got killed. I said, but you got to try to get yourself together, like that there. But did nothing become of that at that time about that statement.
She didn't break up with you then?
No.
I'd break up with you then.
Well, she didn't.
Yeah. Well,
she didn't.
Well, no, clearly, because she took you back. So at some point, the loneliness lets her even accept you.
Yeah,
okay.
well.
So what's going on with the car? Can I just ask you, because I can't stand it. Stop. I have a question. What's the age difference between you two?
About 6 years. He just
6
looks
years?
old enough to be my father.
That's right.
So who uses who more, men or women?
Men definitely use women more.
Why do you say that?
I think that women just have a more nurturing personality, and so men have a tendency to take advantage of that sometimes. Not all men, just some men.
Is there a book on this that women read? Just kidding.
Not that I've read.
What do you think, men or women?
I think women, because they look good and they got that beauty, the feminine charm. So they use that a lot. Yeah.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
He looked good enough for you for a while, though, didn't he? Okay, go ahead.
The first incident with the van was I took the van home one night. Then I went to a card game. She called my daughters, my friends, and the police, and called me on my cell phone and say, bring me my so-and-so van right now. Anytime I took that van, and if I didn't go back over there, I got calls about bring her van.
Well, is it her van?
Yes, it's her van.
Well, then why wouldn't you get those calls?
But I'm saying,
well,
what did I do?
Okay, so, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever pay anything for the car? No, it's not your car.
No.
But you're driving it a lot. Don't you think that maybe you should have helped out to pay?
I'm driving only because I have to, because I got to get back home.
Okay.
And then she want me to come back to her place. I'm not going to walk back and forth to there. It's a pretty good walk.
Okay.
So in order for me to satisfy her, I got to go and come back with.
So then, is she asking you to help contribute towards the car?
No. Not.
So what did she get so mad about the credit card limit that was available?
You said, why did she get upset?
Yeah, why'd she get so upset if she hadn't been asking you to help out?
Because we had an argument. Not an argument. I just walked out and went on home.
Yeah, but what made her so mad about the limits on the car?
Well, this is what I'm saying. When I went home, then she came. I went down to the bar that night. She came down there.
Did you have the van?
Huh?
Did you have the van?
No, she had it.
Okay.
I don't take a van when she upset like that.
Okay.
She won't let me take it without a fight or something.
Okay.
So, like I said, I went to the bar. She come down there. So she said something about what was it she said to me? Something like you
make up a good one.
Okay,
you
stop.
You just wanted to get out or something like that.
You just wanted to get out.
Yeah, because I left her house. But I'm not an arguing type person.
Okay.
So I don't argue with her. She get upset like that, I let her go ahead and say, why don't you answer me, and all that kind of stuff. But I don't.
Okay.
Anyway, like I said, she come down the bar, or you just wanted to use that excuse to get out. So I left, went home.
Okay.
She come up, but she don't know I seen her. But she came up to the house. I was just going to go in the bathroom when I seen her pull up out there. My dog was in the yard. She let the dog out the yard.
Right.
Because she was jealous of the dog.
Okay.
So that's what started. That's what started all
Was he
this.
jealous of the dog that you're ignoring?
The dog.
If I'm
It's a
lying,
pit bull.
she
I'm
was
scared
jealous
to death of the dog.
Okay.
What do you mean she was jealous of the dog?
Okay.
You always gotta go home to that dog. You gotta.
You
do
have, among the many things, besides every penny you ever spent on the van that you're suing for, that's your van, you are also suing for $214 for detailing the van. You want to
Want to see the
detail
pictures?
Yeah, but
He and his friend.
I don't
used-
understand. You guys are living together. Well, you're practically living together. You each have your own place, but he is there all the time. He's driving. I assume you're not driving.
No.
Yeah, she
So every
drives
time
it too. She
drives it too.
yeah.
She's lying.
Every once in
Yeah.
a while, I would drive up to the
Anytime
store.
we break up, she drives that van.
Okay. And when you wouldn't break up, she'd have you drive it.
Had me to drive it, but yet
You
I
a
couldn't
liar. How
use it
many
for-
times did we break up?
I don't know,
Once.
once. Every 3 months.
Once.
But I've been gone.
Once from January of last year
I've
to
been
May
gone.
6th.
Yeah, if that's
He
not-
used my van as a work van. Him
Did
and
he
his
use your
friend.
van between January and May?
Yeah.
When you were broken up? When you were broken up, did he use it?
No.
Right.
No.
Okay, because it's your van. All right, so, but you think he should detail it?
They used it as a work van.
Who's they?
His friend and him.
Did you let them?
No, he just took it.
How do you not know where your van is all day?
He took it. Well, he said, I'm going to look at
Okay,
a
and you're
job
also
or-
suing for $500 for a dent on it.
After they came and got their tools out of it, I have pictures. Somebody took their foot or a tool and hit the back of it.
Okay, let
It
me
was
see
not
that.
there the day before.
All right, let me see your pictures. Did you stand up, please? Is that the gentleman who you got your tools with?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys vandalize the van?
No.
In anger?
No. And she knew I wouldn't have
Yes,
done
he
nothing like
did.
that.
Yes, he did.
Did you do it?
No.
Also, Your Honor, he in April told me he was going to get the axle fixed. He was going
And
to
this
take
is
it
the
to
first I heard
Midas.
about an axle.
He was going to take it to Midas because of a noise, and that's
Oh,
what
yeah,
it was.
okay.
It was the
Okay.
axle.
You told me don't take it there, didn't you?
I said, take it to my mechanic.
Did you take it to him?
You know, normally I don't let people talk to each other, but I'm so fascinated by you guys. Do you still like him?
No.
Do you still like her?
No.
Oh, she all right with me. We just couldn't go
And the
together.
way you
But
see
like I
the-
said, every
those
3
pictures, the
months,
way you
That's
we
not
was
really what I'm
separated.
asking. I'm asking, do you
The
still
way
like
you
her?
see
Like, are
how
you,
my
she's
van
all
look
right.
inside.
no, do you want to get back with her? Huh? Do you want to get back with her?
No.
Because you guys can't coexist.
Your Honor, like I told you, every 3 to 4 months we break up. Either behind me going out by myself, or
You never went anywhere.
or taking the van to go somewhere. And anytime I take that van, she called me 10, 15 times a day.
Okay, question. So she was fine with paying for everything with the van so long as it was a magnet to you. But the minute you guys end up breaking up because she's sick of you not helping
Absolutely.
out and finding out that you can, then now you got to go back and pay for the last year. Did you see the dent that day?
Can I see that picture?
Yeah.
Your Honor.
Hold on.
I don't remember it, but
You don't remember?
No,
Okay.
I don't really remember it.
All right, I've listened to the case. It's kind of ironic. I wrote down one of the things that you said was he always said that he had no money to pay. And that's, it's interesting because then you come to court and say, well, he has an obligation to pay because as it turned out, he had money. That's not a contract. A contract is when someone says to you, I'll tell you what, we're going to split this van. I'm going to use it half the time. You're going to, so let me pay for half of the expenses and let me pay for half of your insurance and let me pay for half of the gas and let me pay for this repair because you paid for the last repair. That's not the relationship you had. And now you're mad because as it turns out, you didn't assert yourself. Look at me when I'm talking to you though, because I think this is important. You didn't assert yourself. And you didn't demand better treatment, and so now you're mad
I
and
did.
you want to. Well, no, you didn't. Because,
He said he didn't have it.
No. It's simple. There was something in it for you. Number one, you wanted the companionship. Okay, and number two, you needed somebody to drive you around because you didn't have a license. So now you come to court and you want me to go back and make him pay for all this stuff that you weren't making him pay for because he just said, I don't have money to pay, and that was that. Well, if that's what he said and that's what you accepted, that doesn't later, because you're mad, create a contract to pay. That's not how it works. You have no evidence that he dented the van. This doesn't look like something done with a tool. It looks like you backed into something or somebody backed into something. And I find, based on everything I've heard, in
What
favor
about
of the
the detailing?
defendant. That is my ruling.
Well, you can't go back and create a contract after the fact when none existed beforehand. Here, right here. All right. Head right down there. Okay, so come on in here, sir. She has scooted. What do you make of all this now?
Well, she's a very vengeful type person. If somebody else make a mess, she take it out on you. It doesn't matter. So what can I say?
Mm-hmm. What does she mean to you now?
She don't mean nothing to me as far as us getting together.
Mm-hmm. You think you've broken up for the last time?
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely so.
How do you know for sure?
Because I don't want her no more.
All right, Harvey?
So the presumption, unless you have a specific agreement, is that when two people live together, basically everything goes into one pot. It is really difficult for a judge to start separating things unless there's a clear point in the relationship where it's certain that one person owes one thing and the other person owns another. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.